Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. This time, we're taking a deep dive into Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich.
Really focusing on chapter 1 today.
Yeah, we're going to lay that foundation.
It's powerful stuff. We're going to be talking about how powerful desire can be,
Yeah.
how setbacks can actually help you succeed.
Right.
And we're going to break down Hill's 6 steps to riches.
Oh, I love that part. And, we love to bring in those real-life stories,
Yes.
right, to kind of illustrate how these principles actually work.
Absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to see how these play out in the lives of some remarkable people.
And Hill kicks off this chapter with a story that I think really grabs everybody's attention. It's the story of Edwin Barnes
Yes.
and his pursuit of working with Thomas Edison.
Yeah.
And he didn't just want a job. He wanted to be Edison's business partner.
Yeah. I mean, that's ambitious.
It is. So I want to just get your thoughts on this story. What can our listeners take away from Barnes's approach?
Well, I think his story is a lesson in how to actually act on desire. He didn't just, wish for this.
Yeah.
He had a strategy. And it all started, right, with a vision, visualizing himself as Edison's partner.
Okay.
But then he took it a step further. He took a really low-level job in Edison's company and basically said, here I am, ready to work.
Yeah.
I'm going to prove myself to you.
And he did.
He did. He showed his value. He showed his worth over and over again until finally that partnership
Became a reality.
became a reality.
It took 5 years.
Wow. That's dedication.
That's some serious commitment. But I think for our listeners, what's really powerful here is he had that burning desire.
Yes.
But he didn't just stop at the desire. He had that calculated action that went along with it.
Exactly. And that brings us to one of Hill's main points. Desire by itself isn't enough.
Right.
You have to take action. We have to be willing to, put in the work, take those first steps, even if they seem really small.
Yeah. Yeah. And speaking of taking action when things get tough,
Oh, yeah.
Hill brings up this compelling example, Marshal Field. After the Great Chicago Fire, most people were running away.
Right.
He saw opportunity at all the destruction. He even vowed to build the greatest store in the world.
It's amazing. He was fueled almost by the destruction. And, this is what really separates the
Yeah.
people who let circumstances define them
Right.
versus those who define their circumstances. I mean, think about it. How many times have you hit a setback, a roadblock, and thought, that's it, it's over?
Yeah.
But Hill is suggesting that we rethink that. Look for the advantage that's hidden within every single challenge.
It's so true, though. Our mindset shapes our reality. Okay, so we've got desire, we've got resilience. Now let's get into the practical steps.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hill outlines these 6 steps to riches, which is a roadmap to transform desire into financial success.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down for our listeners step by step.
Okay.
Okay, step 1. It's all about clarity. You got to know what you want. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money you want. No, I want to be rich.
Yeah.
No ambiguity. Be specific. We're talking a concrete figure here.
I love that because I'm such a list person.
Yeah.
And when you put it down in black and white,
Yeah.
it becomes more real,
Yeah.
more attainable.
You're not just wishing anymore.
Yeah.
It's like now you're planning. And that takes us to step 2. What are you going to give in exchange for this wealth?
Oh, that's a good one.
Success isn't about entitlement. It's about exchange. What problem are you going to solve? What service will you provide
To earn that money.
to earn that financial reward?
That's a great point. It takes effort. It takes contribution. So we've got her clearly defined goal. We know what we're contributing. What's next?
All right, step 3, we're bringing in time now. You got to set a date, a definite date to achieve your financial goal.
Okay, I like it.
Creates urgency, right? It's not a someday dream anymore. Oh, I love that. A deadline, even if you set it yourself. Yeah. It's a huge motivator.
Oh, yeah. Deadlines are everything for me, for sure. Okay, so we got the what, the why, the when. How do we get there?
Step 4, create a plan
Okay.
and start working on it today. Don't wait for the perfect moment.
Yeah.
Don't wait for all the pieces to fall into place. Just take that first step, even if it's messy.
Action over perfection.
Yes, because motion creates momentum.
I love that. So we're taking action. We got a plan. How do we stay on track? How do we stay focused?
Hill's got us covered. Step 5, write it all down. A clear statement with your goal, your timeline, what you're giving, and your plan.
Okay.
Putting it all down on paper, it solidifies your commitment.
So it's like making a contract.
Yes, a contract with yourself.
I like that. Okay. And I'm guessing step 6 takes this even further.
It does. Step 6 is where we unleash the power of the subconscious. Read that statement out loud twice a day. Once before bed, once when you wake up. And as you're reading, visualize yourself already having that wealth.
Oh, this is good. This is where it gets really interesting.
Feel it, believe it,
Yeah.
embody it.
Okay.
It's about becoming, as Hill says, money conscious.
Yeah.
You know, seeing yourself living that reality you're aiming for. And when you do this, you're imprinting that goal deep in your mind.
You're aligning everything, your thoughts, your actions, with that outcome.
Exactly.
It's powerful stuff. These steps might seem simple, but the power is in doing them consistently.
Absolutely. It's like a recipe, right? You need all the ingredients. And then the magic happens when you combine them.
It does. You know what's fascinating to me?
What's that?
Is that these steps, they weren't just like made up. He'll learn them from Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, who built, a massive fortune, over $100 million. And even Thomas Edison himself, a man of huge achievements,
Unbelievable achievement.
endorsed these steps as essential for not just financial success, but any worthwhile goal, any goal. So it's not about luck or chance. It's about, this deliberate, systematic approach, turning that desire into a result.
Yeah, it's about mindset and action.
Mindset and action. It's like success leaves clues, and those who have achieved it often share these similar principles.
That's right.
Now, you can't talk about Think and Grow Rich without talking about these practical dreamers.
Yes.
These are people who imagined a different world and then went out and made it happen.
Yeah.
Hill uses all these great examples. Columbus discovering America, Copernicus changing how we think about the universe, the Wright brothers, flight.
It's a pretty inspiring group.
Yeah, it's a good group.
But, it's not just about how big their achievements were.
Yeah.
It's about their mindset.
Okay.
They weren't afraid to go against the grain.
Yeah.
They believed in the impossible. I mean, look at Henry Ford.
Yeah.
The skepticism he must have faced when he was talking about a horseless carriage.
Yeah.
Or Thomas Edison trying over and over again to create the electric lamp. I mean, he had more than 10,000 failed attempts.
But that persistence is what sets these people apart.
Yes.
It makes you wonder what impossible dreams we're all holding back on.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes you want to dig them up and dust them off and give it another shot.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Now, Hill takes this idea of belief to a really personal level
Yes, he does.
by sharing the story of his son, Blair, who was born without external ears.
It's such a powerful story. It shows the power of a father's belief. Hill wouldn't accept the limitations that were, put on Blair because of his physical condition. He believed that Blair would hear, that he would speak, and he dedicated himself to making that happen.
And it's not just like hope.
No?
It was proactive belief.
Mm.
He used bedtime stories.
Yes.
He exposed Blair to music when he was really young, just constantly reinforcing the idea that he could hear. And this was way before the medical interventions we have today.
That's right. All right.
It really shows the power of just unwavering faith from a parent.
Mm. And it's interesting how an ordinary object, a Victrola, ended up playing a key role in Blair's journey.
Yeah.
He became really fascinated by certain records, especially It's a Long Way to Tipperary, and he would play this record over and over again with his teeth clamped on the edge of the phonograph. And without realizing it, he was experiencing bone conduction.
Oh, wow.
Hearing the vibrations through his jawbone.
So resourceful.
He found a way to hear, despite the physical limitations, and Hill saw this as a sign.
Yeah.
It validated his belief. He started speaking to Blair with his lips touching Blair's mastoid bone.
Okay.
And Blair could hear him.
Oh, wow.
He could hear clearly.
So it wasn't just, communication.
No.
It was about nurturing that desire, that belief within Blair.
Yes.
That he could hear and interact with the world.
Yes.
It's amazing how a limitation can become a strength.
It is.
It wasn't just about being able to hear. It was about, developing the mindset.
Yes, that would allow him to thrive.
Yeah.
And that mindset is what guided Blair through school, through life. He went to regular schools, not special schools for the deaf.
Yeah.
And he graduated college without ever being able to hear his teachers clearly.
That must have been so difficult.
Can you imagine the determination that took?
It's really inspiring. He refused to be defined by his circumstances.
And then, during his last week of college, there was a turning point.
Yeah.
Blair got a new hearing aid on trial.
Oh, wow.
He was hesitant at first because he had been disappointed by hearing aids in the past.
Yeah.
But this time, it worked. For the first time, he could hear normally.
That's incredible. So all those years of belief, all that effort, all that persistence led to this moment.
It really shows the power of hope, the power of refusing to give up, the power of a father's love.
It's really powerful stuff. It's like a movie. But the story doesn't end there. Blair, now being able to hear, he wasn't content to just enjoy his new ability.
No, he wanted to use his experience to help others. And that's where Hill's teachings really shine. It's not just about achieving your own success, it's about making a difference.
Right.
Blair knew his story could give hope to so many others
Yeah.
who are facing similar challenges.
So he turned his personal triumph into a way to serve others.
Yes. And he didn't just talk about it, he took action. He started researching the market for hearing aids.
Okay.
He came up with a plan to connect with deaf people around the world. And then he took this plan to a hearing aid manufacturer,
Yeah.
and they hired him on the spot.
Wow. He turned a disadvantage into an asset.
Yes. Hill's belief in the power of desire validated once again. It wasn't just about Blair hearing. It was about him living a fulfilling life, a life driven by purpose.
And a desire to contribute.
It's truly amazing how a seemingly impossible obstacle can lead to such incredible achievements.
His story really shows that we're only limited by what we believe to be our limits.
That's right.
And Hill shares another great story to illustrate the power of desire.
Yes, the story of Madame Schumann-Heink.
This world-renowned opera singer.
Can you imagine being told you could never be a singer
Yeah.
because of the way you look and your lack of personality?
Oh, that would be rough.
Well, that's what they told Madame Schumann-Heink. But her desire was so strong that she overcame these limitations.
And became one of the greatest opera singers of all time.
That's right. It shows that our potential isn't determined by what other people think.
Or those perceived limitations.
It's determined by our inner drive. We have the power to shape our own destinies.
But we have to know what we want. We have to identify our desires.
Exactly. And that's what Chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich is all about. It's a call to action. It's urging us to look inside ourselves and discover what we truly desire, to nurture those desires, and to approach our goals with unwavering belief and determination.
It's about realizing that we can achieve incredible things, even in the face of adversity.
That's right. And remember, this is just the beginning. Hill lays the foundation for a journey of self-discovery and achievement throughout the book.
Think and Grow Rich is more than just a book.
Yeah.
It's like a guide to unlocking your full potential.
It's about understanding that the power to achieve your dreams lies within you.
And that power is waiting to be ignited by the spark of desire.
That's right.
This has been like such an inspiring look at Chapter 1.
It really has.
We've talked about the power of desire. We've talked about resilience.
Yeah.
We even dove into those 6 steps to riches. And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of what this book has to offer.
You know, that's what I love about Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Each chapter builds on the one before it.
Right.
And it really creates this like blueprint for achieving success in all areas of life.
You could read this book over and over again.
Absolutely.
And get something new out of it every time.
Every time.
And speaking of returning, we will be back with more deep dive
Yes.
into Think and Grow Rich
More chapters to explore.
in future episodes. But for now, as we wrap things up here, what's one key takeaway you hope our listeners walk away with today?
That's a tough one. But I think the biggest takeaway is this. Your mind is so powerful, it can literally shake your reality.
Yeah.
So embrace that power of belief.
Okay.
Cultivate that burning desire for what you want, and then take action. Don't forget what Hill said. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
Love that. And I'll just add to that.
Yeah.
Don't let circumstances define you.
Yeah.
Embrace challenges
Yeah.
as opportunities
Yes.
for growth. And never, ever underestimate that persistent, unwavering desire. If it can help someone hear without ears,
Wow.
imagine what it can do for you.
It's incredible.
Keep that in mind as you move forward on your own journeys.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Think and Grow Rich.
It was my pleasure.
Until next time, keep those desires burning bright.